Yeah, good team.
Awunabhuti kodini.
Excel good.
Yini moja kanti.
Sharp,
Bhuti
brother.
silibala nakabhuti.
Yeah.
Yini grand bhuti. Yena uthethe lento uyithethe ngoba ngiyilethe nje le comment yakho manje kule topic ndikuyo. Kaya kule nto sitha ngayo apha. Si-youth ne-elders. Yabo. Then I will bless you.
Uthini ke boss wami? Uthini Uchita?
Remind me, because I saw it yesterday. Just remind me
Yeah.
so that at least in the same page now. You gotta be
Yeah.
ahead, guy, be behind.
So lo umchita bethetha ngalewe bana lewe ye-violence yabo, ye-gender based violence
Yeah.
isithi bana ba the vulnerable, which is yena uthi bana the vulnerable are females and children, né? That he feels as though that they should be protected by men, and it's a male's obligation to protect amacheri and children. Yeah, well, and if we do not do that, then us as men have then failed. We have failed as men to do that. Yeah, and on top of
Okay,
that,
okay. I think I remember now. I remember. I think I remember now. Yeah, nakhumbula kanibala nje la nto ibalcony izinto zangcola bezana. So I remember there's a topic, this guy. So this guy is taking the perspective based on what? On his emotion, on the stats, on latest research, or on what? Is he talking about himself thinking that, or talking about something he's observed that was also observed in a scientific manner, like in terms of cohort study of some kind?
You must have
Or
earphones fast.
something he read? Okay,
Yeah, so ungavai.
Yeah, Daguva, Yandiva. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah,
Mic
yeah.
check.
Yeah.
So do you hear me or should I repeat?
Yeah.
Do you hear me before or should I repeat? Okay. So I'm saying I hear what you said, yeah? So I was asking before I even comment, Lomchita basing things on what? On what he feels is right, between right and wrong, or what he has read, which was proven or was researched, or what people are saying. Yeah, but that was my first question. And if I may go forward, based on that, what he's saying basically is based on something, an emotional response that he has, based on what physical ability of males. There's nothing else you can argue. It's based on the physical ability of males. But then again, if you look at the current state in the country, especially worldwide, basically the group of people who regard themselves as feminists, right? Those people cut off the power or the strength or the ability of differences between females and males. So therefore, the point of males must do this is cut off already if you're looking at the modern current society, right? There isn't a place or a situation where you say males must protect females, males must look after females, males must be the guidance, etc. If you look at the current state, which is basically about 50% and plus of people and mostly females, will say no, equality before anything. If a male can protect me, I can protect him as well. If a male can do A and B, I can do A and B. We shouldn't be put or placed as inferior group, so to speak, because by doing that, it means the person you are protecting, you are stronger than them naturally. Yeah, but so you're putting the entire generation basically of change into one aspect now that you feel emotionally based on your observation that it should happen, right? So it be cut off already by feminists. Yeah, but let's cut point number one. Yeah, but point number two, if you look at the current state, when it says it should be protected, what do you mean by that? Did he observe the criminals that have been doing stuff where males and females, the criminals that have been mostly victims, so to speak, have been females? And then when listening to the stats, let's become a little more educated here. Stats, the most people who are in prison are males. The most people who are uneducated are males. The most people who do worst in school are males. The most people who get killed and robbed are males. So the most violent crimes, trauma, are males. So where is it taking the category that females are suffering more? What it's doing is basically it's taking a small basically group or observation that he has seen, making a particular generalization in the entire country or in the entire world, which is not true. Basically, it's just foolish, so to speak. Yeah, but you can't take one observation that you have done, forgetting everything around that observation that you have done, and saying this is what should happen, this is what's happening, this is what should happen. It makes no sense. Yeah, but most people who suffer the most are actually males in all aspects. Let's take basically positions in the country currently. Yeah, but most of them are females. Let's go to varsity. In each department, you see most people are there are what? Females. Most people who do well in school are females. Yes, you may get one boy basically who's number one, but you get 4 ladies who are in top 5 in school. There's only one guy there. Go to prison. The amount of prison, basically gender-based, the amount of people who are in prison are mostly males. The amount of violent criminal activities are males. Most people who die are males. Like males are all the categories are the worst. Where is taking the category basically? What it's doing is taking basically the noise that has been projected across the country and making it as if like it is the norm. It is not the norm. Yes, criminality is a wrong thing basically of doing crime. But you can't take one group and make it like as if like people have been killed all the time, all the years. Like in terms of like in the country, if you look at the stats, most people have been shot, stabbed, etc. But when it went into females, and then people started having their opinion, people started having their own way of going forward. Yeah, well, there isn't a group that's better. We are the same. It's just now maybe it's concentrated in this group based on what this group believes in. For example, if you say Umxhosa, right, and then Ukabazulu. AmaZulu believe in their own things based on their culture and in their belief system about what a man should do. And even females in that group believe so. So should I say, because I'm not Zulu, and saying what Jacob Zuma is doing, having 4 or 5 wives, is wrong? Yeah, but we should have the females as well, having 4 or 5 husbands. Like it makes no sense. I'm not in the culture, I can't comment on the culture, I can't tell them what they're doing is wrong or right. Yeah, but I can't be in their shoes. I can't speak for them. You know what I'm saying? But if you use generalization, then use in a manner that we see all of us are going to try to grasp it and then try to respond in a very academic or very professional manner, so to speak. Yeah, because what I'm saying doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, but we should protect why we failed. Why he made it sound like it was a test that was given to us in the beginning. Yeah, but that if we don't do it, we fail. No, you can't fail at something that you didn't do. Like you're not tasked to do. Like something like test. You fail a test only if you go and write it. You don't fail something you was not tasked to do. It was never our job to do it in the first place. Currently, in the current way things are going, it's not even our job at all. Yeah, but because now, for example, when it says we are supposed to, who gave us the duty to do that? Females don't want them, so now you must enforce your belief system on the female. definition of toxic masculinity already. You're saying, I must protect them. I must do this for them. I must do this to them. You get what I'm saying? It's like they've got no say in their well-being, in their freedom, in their basically ability to do stuff. Yeah, but things have changed over the past because females want to be included. So if you say we must do this for them, this must be done for females. You are speaking for females. You are not a female at all. You were never a female in the beginning. How can you say what is good for them is this? That's already, you're acting like a father. Maybe, quite frankly, you're acting like a father. You think you're doing a good thing, but you're not. Maybe you don't know that you're not doing a good thing. That's a problem. Maybe you don't know. So keep the benefit of the doubt that you don't know that you're doing a good thing when you have a bad thing. You're doing a good thing, but you're actually doing a bad thing. Yeah, but even a child in our days, you don't tell them, baby, or Michael, or Lungelo, don't do this. You speak with them. What do you think is the solution? What do you think is wrong? How can we solve this? How can we go forward? Yeah, but it's what basically, my mother didn't do that with me, obviously. For me, it was discipline was through corporal punishment. Yeah, but then they clean out. That's what I listen to because I only listen to pain. But in nowadays, I can't be using the same disciplinary method that was used by my mother on my child. It makes no sense. Things have changed. You have to ask me, yeah, now you're saying, okay, here's the problem. Females are suffering in this way. So therefore, we must protect them. We must be in forefront. We must go after the criminals. We must do no. Like imagine, he's the father of all females. He tells them what's good for them. Like shit, no. He can ask any female. Female will look at this thing is, if you ask anyone person, when they hear what he's saying, they'll say, yes, he's right. We are suffering and stuff. And then you sit them down, you break it down, that statement. Yeah, we come to the art for females, not to the art with females. You will see, they will change all of them. Like, boyfriend, yeah, but that's what he's doing. He's doing the exact opposite. If there's a problem, if someone is a victim, you don't tell them this is what you should do. No, you ask them. That's why there is this thing after the situation this thing of speaking with someone, speaking out, getting help came in about basically. People didn't say, okay, people are suffering because of the pressure in the industry, right? So therefore, here's the solution. No. Let's speak out about it, number one. Let's involve professionals to help us. Let's involve people who are actually aware of being in this situation about it. Yeah, but because there isn't a simple solution for something that's multifactorial like that. Yeah, but pressure is multifactorial. Pressure. Because you can have so much need in terms of exams, but your life, apart from that, is good. You've got a good relationship. Your father takes care of you. The mother is also take care of you. You've got good friends. You've got good rest, etc. So therefore, you can focus on doing the pressure of exam. Someone else, he's got that pressure. Agana money to stay in accommodation, but agana money to eat. Then get the allowance. For example, tomorrow. So therefore, it's into electricity or is very far from where he studies. So it's multifactorial. So you can't be one solution. You can't just say, okay, here's a solution, check, done, move on to the next one. Hey, boom. What is that? That's Hilchamos. Yeah, boom. So if there's a problem, we solve it this way, done. If you are a leader, even if you're a leader, you ask the people, okay, our politics are slightly different. But suppose you're a leader, ask the people, because I know you're going to mention the parliament and stuff, that's totally different. If you're a leader, you ask the people, what do you guys think is the problem? What do you guys think is the solution? How do we go about it? So you're not leading from the front, you're leading from within. Yeah, but we are one. It's not I think Barack Obama, when he came saying we are one, or we can do it, something like can we. He said I can do it. Most people in South Africa will say I will do this or I do this. No, but the answer should be we as a team will figure it out. We as a country will figure it out. We as a political party will do that. Same thing when a problem comes in within females. Ask them, what do they think is a solution? What do they want us to do? What do they want to do? Yeah, but then you can be involved based on what they say, not you say, okay, I see guys are suffering, you've been victimized, or you've been raped, robbed, and killed. So therefore, we've taken our basically as our initiative now to go forward and block the streets, parade the streets at night, make sure we kill all the ones who rape and rob and kill you guys. That's not a solution. Some people will tell you, no, I don't want him to be killed. I want him to be punished, like to go to prison, right? Number one. Some of them will say, no, I don't want him to go to prison. I want him to still feel the same pain. Someone say, no, that's not legal. You can't do that. So therefore, what actually caused the problem? So the third person is coming in saying, no, let's find the problem. What is wrong with that guy? Why was he like that? Why was he raised? What went wrong? I thought when he was in school, he was a good boy. And then he was using drugs. So therefore, who's selling the drugs? Number four, someone said, okay, no, it's not a problem with drugs. It's the drugs and alcohol. Why does it do regulation on alcohol as well? No, it's not that. It's not alcohol. It's not drugs. Actually, it's the combination. It's the pressure from the other guys. So therefore, how we correct them there? For education. Informing people. When you're well informed, you do well informed decisions. Someone saying, no, it's not only that. It's not only drugs, alcohol, and information. It's also about self-decision. It's about games, it's about aim. It's about what you want to do. So basically, it's not about self-introspection. When you look at yourself, so okay, me as a person, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Most people don't do that. Something happens, people say, I'm sorry. You don't think about, I said I'm sorry, but that person actually forgave me. That person actually accept what I'm doing. They actually agree with how I'm saying sorry. Because when you actually injure someone, the way they receive your apology is extremely important. Yeah, but sometimes it's not about the apology you give, it's about the way you say it. So what I'm trying to say is the problem is multifactorial. I just gave you 5 examples basically about one person who did crime. People fight people with different ways to solve it. Yeah, but when you come basically as an autocratic leader, yeah, well, saying people are throwing tantrum where they actually tell you, no, let's discuss. Yeah, it might not be me who was raped, but it was my sister. Let's say the guy will say that, and then the people are like, no, it was actually my mother was raped. And now people, no, actually I was the one who was raped. And then the daughter comes in, no, my mother was raped. You see, one person was affected by this thing, but other people also are affected as well in the same area because it creates a hostile environment. If, for example, they say, for example, here outside, there's an area, basically 4-way stop where there's a high rate of accidents. So how do you come about preventing that? Do you put policemen there? Do you make sure the car lights, the car robots are working there? Or do you make sure you increase the fine to accident in that place? Or do you put speed humps there in the same place? Yeah, but you get what I'm saying? It's about one thing. High rate of accident in one place. How do you go about solving the problem? There's no one solution. You can put traffic cops there. You can put policemen there. You can put ambulances there. You can put speed humps there. You can put increase the time the car lights change in between. Or you can make sure there are actually multiple speed humps so the person will not rush through that area. Or you can increase the fines that people will pay you if they do a car accident in this specific area. Or don't increase the fine, people must sleep in prison who they cause an accident in this area. Yeah, but then you can ask yourself, why are we putting so much or having so much ideas around this place? So therefore, the damage to the person who's driving and the car and its passengers, one. Number two, the damage to the person and the other passengers on a different car on the opposite side. Or they might say there's livestock that crosses there, which causes the problem. Number four, there might be children who play around that area. It might be a field close by. Yeah, but, so one problem came in that there's a high rate of accident there. Why? Number one. Number two, how can you find a solution? You see, all of these basic things basically about multiple solutions from one problem, or from what we thought it was one problem. Yeah, because some people or some areas will say someone who gets raped was asking for it, and you will jump. How can you say that? That was asking for it when they got raped. You ask them, why do you think that? Why are you saying that? They'll say they were doing short skirts, they're working at night, they're working alone, or they were drunk, they were in a high crime area. But all of those things doesn't say they asked for it. You break it down from each. Wearing a short skirt, what does it mean wearing a short skirt? Most females will tell you, but obviously they're different females, but those of those people I've spoken to, they will tell me like, actually wearing clothes that are revealing is about confidence. It's about self-revealing confidence, or about confidence in their body, their skin, things like that. It's nothing to do with males. right? Some of them will tell you, I want to feel sexy that day. I was gonna cover my boobs and my ass, etc., 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 etc. I want to feel sexy that day, and that clothes were making me feel sexy. Yeah, but even when they see each other, like, oh girl, you're killing it tonight. So you're not killing it every day. It's only tonight or today. Meaning these clothes you're wearing are the one that actually make you killing it, or maybe the makeup. I don't know. That person will come. Oh, so therefore you're wearing these clothes, all of these things. Then, but you were in a high crime or high rape area. Is that acceptable to even name a place like that? First, number one. So there's a place where we know people get raped, but we can't change it. Why? So we say, okay, as a country, we are scared of that place because that's where people get raped. Instead of putting policemen there or changing the structure or searching the building or searching the area, you get what I'm saying, trying to prevent that criminal activity from happening, we are just criticalizing it. Yeah. That's number three. So, okay, no, she was in this area, which is not a good area to walk at night. Fine. Four, who's raping her? She's not raped by ghosts, she's raped by people. So who are those people? What happens to them? What can we do to them? How can we prevent it? You get what I'm saying? Number five, the solution. So what is the solution to this mess? This happened. What is the solution? So if someone comes in, I don't care if you're a genius or what, comes and say, here's the solution, this is what we do, etc. Without the involvement of people, it becomes a problem. Yeah, it becomes a problem. We always see solutions, Tina, on things that we have no knowledge about, have no experience about. Yeah, because if you ask that guy, his observation, how his observation making any difference to the society? That's what he observed. What are the people saying? Did he spoke with anyone? Did he understand one of the girls that this happened to? Did he speak with one of the families? Because remember, most emotions are conditional. You understand what I mean by that? People will say, when I did this, I was angry. When I did this, I was pissed off. When I did this, I was happy. When I did this, I was not sure. So it's conditional. After 5 years, we ask people that have always basically when my girlfriend or my sister, my brother who was killed in a car accident by someone. At the time, I wanted to get us, I wanted to face him on fist fight, something like that. But now, I was saying I forgave the person. Oh, now I came peace what happened. Oh no, it was not his problem. It was my brother's problem. He was driving drunk. Oh no, it was my brother's time. So you see, my emotion have changed from 5 years ago to now. You get what I'm saying? So when you jump, basically what people are doing, that's why I don't like to follow trends or when something say, let's put lights for this casino or let's post this video, post this about the woman, post this about men, post this about children, post this about, like it's conditional because it's only in the hype of what happened at that time. So for me, not wanting to be involved or want to participate doesn't mean I don't believe in. It just means I'm not gonna just climb over everything is going, climb over everything that's online now, or everything that's on fashion. Because some of the things I don't believe in, some of the things I believe in, but some of the things I'm not gonna post. It's conditional. Some people don't understand that thing. They always respond with that, and then in 5 years' time, when you say, "I've improved," or "I've gotten better," or "I've learned." But these guys tend to find how they've messed up in the past.
Ring, ring. I just want to wipe this thing. Ring.
Okay,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna wipe.
Okay, sure. So I've gotten better. I've improved. I didn't know this. People don't say, actually, I made a mistake. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah, but most people, if you,
Yeah.
for example, in my career, if you ask most people basically, why did you sue that person or why did you sue that group, etc., they will tell you it's not about actually what they did. They didn't want to admit they were wrong. Because if you say to someone, I'm telling you, you avoid a lot of things. If you say to someone, even if in a tavern, like in the places we go to, tavern, lounge, etc. Yeah, but if you say someone's stepping your food or you steal someone's food, you say, no, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. No, I'm sorry, my man, done. That person, even if they were angry, their anger goes down a bit because they're not looking for a fight. You get what I'm saying? You are not looking for a fight. You are just saying, listen, this happened, and I'm sorry. It doesn't matter who's wrong. I am sorry, or I made a mistake. and then we can move forward. Because some people will tell you the reason why I was like that is because he was so arrogant, or she was so arrogant, or she doesn't recognize what she has done or what he has done. You get what I'm saying? So when I don't know who said this. I think someone said to me, never make decisions when you're angry. Yo, my man, I've avoided a lot of encounters. Never make decisions when you're angry. Take a 5-minute thing. It's like when in the morning you are going to work, someone makes you angry for like 3 minutes. Are you gonna say your day was bad based on 5 minutes in the morning? Your day was not bad. That 5 minutes was bad. You probably fucked up, did something, right? Or something messed up, but you were part of it. Or something was messed up, but you could have prevented it. Some people don't get arrested because they did something. Some people get arrested because they didn't do anything. If somebody, they call it a complaint, something like that. I'm not sure what it's called, but means you're associated, accomplice, something like that. But someone gets right in front of you, somebody gets in front of me. I don't stop the killing, or I don't report the person at all. So I didn't do anything, but I witnessed it. You see, I didn't do anything. I witnessed someone getting raped, killed, etc. I didn't stop them from doing it, and I didn't go and report them. That's criminal.
So, why do you think? Two questions then. Why do you think people are as emotional like that with things? Like we talked about. As soon as something happens, and then it's boom, hype train. That's what we're gonna push the whole time. Like say, not way, people are being killed and raped, so therefore this is what we're gonna do. But like, why do you think it's so easy to get onto that hype train? That's the first question. Then the second question is, why don't you think that? Why do you think that people don't problem solve the way that you just said now? Because I mean that's what the court does. In courts, that's exactly what they do. They take every case as one case. By extending the case, this is what happened. This is the reasons. How did this happen? What can we do? What is the solution? That is different to even the same person in the same area, because he's got a different lifestyle, a different reason, a different. So then that person he stands his own trial, even if it's for the same thing. So therefore, there's that problem solving that happens. And we tell you first check like Lomchita hit this other person. Okay, why did that happen? How did that happen? When did it happen? What were the contributing factors? Then we can start to make or to then formulate solutions to the problems. But why don't people critically think like that? Instead, they just go, okay, these are the stats, even if they're wrong. They don't even have the time to even check that the stats are wrong. But even if they're wrong, they say, okay, that's solution sharp up. So
okay. There's a guy, I think you know this guy called Peterson, psychologist. I don't know where he's from, but Jordan Peterson. He also does these videos basically about the emotional response. But there's a reflex and then there's a response. So a reflex is something that most people can't control. I swear at you, you swear me back. You don't care what the other person was saying before, what person was feeling, or what happened. You just responded. But it's like saying, you didn't answer me. You responded to my question. But you get what I'm saying? So there is that problem. Most people have got this emotional reflex. Something happened, someone got shot in the mouth or in the head. How can they do that? Why? What was he thinking? They don't know if the person who was passing by was a mistake, or it was intentional, or the person actually went through the person was holding a gun, trying to be strong, etc. But the person who was shot in the face was actually a terrorist. He killed millions, thousands with bombings, etc. So killing him actually was stopping the progression of killing of black people. For example, if a black person was killed by a white person in the past, right? And then that person was killed about thousands through his orders that clear this area with students, clear this area with black people, no matter what, use any force necessary. Meaning any force necessary can kill you as long as it does their goal, right? Now I come back as one person, I shoot the leader, right? They're like, how can you shoot him in the head, etc., etc. The person who I shot is the one who was killing thousands of black people with this order. Yeah, but some people may even put it nicely, saying the pen is mightier than the gun. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is most people, uninformed people, let's put that way, most uninformed people don't have the ability to ponder, to think deeply, so to speak, about their actions. What they want is normalization of everything. So something happens. So it's a balance. Yeah, but when someone says perfectly balanced, as all things should be, meaning they will be negative, so small, maybe positive, so big that we don't recognize the difference. That's what balance means. Yeah, but it means in and out is balancing that you don't see there's too much things coming out, too much good things coming in, basically. So when something is balanced, meaning we are living in a society where there's less recording or less recognition of someone getting killed, getting raped, getting robbed, etc. When that balance is shifted, meaning something out of the ordinary happens, in this case, it will be a car accident of driving a gunshot, someone getting raped, etc. So people, in order to be seen like they are active, right, in their means of balancing the universe or the world, they respond immediately. So that thing goes away very quickly. People can't do pain or uncover. If you want to fight with people, Lungelo, introduce change. If you want to fight with people, introduce change. People don't want to have challenges. So when something happens that's just out of the ordinary, they want to get a solution quickly. They don't care what's the process, how we go there, who are involving, who are not involving, who are we affecting negatively. As long as there was a car accident here, we clear the road, we paint it again, we put a new tar, everything goes back to normal. They like their life the way they are. They don't want to be uncomfortable. So finding a solution as quickly as possible. It means that for them, they think things should go back to normal without any consequence. You can't say someone get killed, sentencing one guy is going to solve the problem of killing people. Let's go back to the basics. How did the person get a gun? He's not a policeman. How do you get a gun? How easy is it to get a gun? Who gives away the gun? What happens to people who gives away those guns? When those people get those guns? You get what I'm saying? How are we going to get rid of those guns? Is there a way we can actually detect those guns? Do you get what I'm saying? Is there any solution in the current state now? Like I think in the overseas they were developing a way basically where they can trace a gun, like as if like a tracker. Yeah, but a gun is a metal. In between the metal, you can put something that you can actually trace the gun. So if you know that this year we've created 20,000 guns, how are we now having 30,000 guns in the country? Don't you think that is going to be a problem for the people who get shot by those guns? In other states, it's so easy to get a gun. As long as you've got a license, you can go and buy it. Simple as that. As long as you're over 18, you are able to buy a gun. There's no psychological assessment. There's no way this person is fine. It might cause a problem. It doesn't matter. So the problem doesn't come out of that. Now people are running around. Now we must change the laws. Now we might increase sentence. No! Change the ability of people to access to guns. Simple and straight. Why are you changing the end of the stick? Why are you changing here where things will begin? You get what I'm saying? So people actually this emotional response because they want things to go back to normal. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable in their state. But that's the answer to what you were saying. Why are people emotionally responding without no? And people have got this thing of entitlement. It's so bad that freedom of speech, so I can say bullshit. That's not freedom of speech. Yeah, but freedom of speech is saying I can say what I think, and then to those people there, considering what they want as well, or considering how they want to solve the solution. Like people think that freedom of speech you can swear to everyone. Freedom of speech is saying Sunganyo. That's freedom of speech. That's me saying what I want to say. But I'm insulting you in the process directly. Or not saying do it directly. You're saying Sunganyo about a commenter. Kulento bangavumelaniyo nami. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying wena lungele direct, but I'm saying lonke namajita nizawukhomenta ningavumelani nani umsunwini. Yabo or go fuck off. Or there's a direct way where I can say fuck off lungelo if you don't agree with me. Now, people have this sense of entitlement that I've got what I can say, and I don't care who anyone else says after that. As if like my word is gold. No, it's not. We are people, we are not savages, we are not lions where there'll be one leader who leads the entire pack. We are human beings. We interact, we communicate, we find solutions, we live in groups, we live in an ecosystem. One thing leads to another. Your actions now will affect someone else negatively. If you're protecting someone who did something, a criminal basically, that person they did the things to actually will not be happy, and therefore it will be a consequence. And in the end, maybe the child they shot the father off is gonna grow up without a parent. He's gonna hate guns forever. He's gonna hate you forever. He's gonna try to get revenge to you. So that's a problem. I don't like revenge. I actually don't like revenge. I like justice. Because revenge doesn't solve anything. If you did something to my brother, sister, cousin, I did it to you, and then you die. The person who's your family member, your son or brother, will do it to me. I die. My child, my brother will do it to them. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no solution. And what did justice say? You did this. What does the law say? Can you be tried fairly? Maybe you killed my brother in self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
I like justice because maybe you killed my brother. My brother, I know my brother is violent. He's always smoking dagga, drinking alcohol, and he's asked money from you. You didn't want to give him or you didn't have it. He was pissed off. He swear. You saw a hawk, or you were swearing back at him, and then he came to you with a bottle cap. You defended yourself. You stabbed him once and then he died. The defense injury. It was once. It wasn't multiple. I didn't stab. You didn't stab my brother when he was on the floor. He came to you. You step in the neck. He dies. Or you step in the chest. He died. Self-defense. That makes sense to me. Yeah, but even though I may not be happy that you are walking around, basically, but it was self-defense. That's justice. Most people don't care about that. They want to go for revenge. But your brother was wrong. That's the thing I always say. If you don't correct problems at home, they will go to the world. This other guy, when you get a problem, yeah. Ukisahau What was the second question again? It was about the
What?
It's noisy. It's noisy.
Fuck!
Get off the call. Don't hold up.
I didn't go live using and took up on the live there, sharp.
Get off the call.
I don't know if someone has like say, gee.
Yeah, because
Yeah, my cousin on here, loosen up this cussing.
Okay. Lungelo, must continue it.
Yeah, there is gone.
Yeah. So what is the second question? Remember the second question.
Why do you think that people then do not go critically analyze like that? especially like it's not even just like it's like a it's a certain like abantu abangafundanga okanye ngabantu abangafunu like with no educational background or anything like that. It's actually sometimes actually the most influential people that do that because they obviously get the support that they need. But then why is it that it's people that just don't critically analyze like that? Yeah, even people in our field, even people in the medical field or in law, they're not hardly ever in law because they know how the law works. Yeah, well, everything is on its own, and you have to look at all the factors. But even in the medical field, it's like, how do you say things
I
like?
hear you. The two ways to this answer. So it's about the hierarchy. Number one, hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are on power, own positions, they are less likely to take decisions from the one who are below. Let's say you are a basically qualified person, right? It's less likely to take advice from the intern. Because I think I'm experienced. I think I know more. So therefore, I think your decision or your answer is less valuable than mine. And my my experience gives me the advantage to say these things. And therefore, whatever you will say, you must listen to me first. If you haven't listened to,
and it's even worse. It's even worse if you have that type of personality.
Exactly. Sorry.
It's even worse, Kengoku, if you have that type of personality, but you already have the upper hand as Bana. You are at the top of the food chain, or you are the person that people listen to. So you already have that advantage. Now on top of that, well, now I'm actually never going to listen, and this is the way that things are. Then it's already finished. Like I'll pin you.
Exactly, and you know what that does? It actually slows the process of progress. It slows progress. So I was saying, number one is the hierarchy. Most people will speak with you in a manner based on your position. So I don't like to tell people what I do for a living. I don't want to do that. If it comes out, yes, it comes out. But I usually don't want to do that. Because people respond to you based on what you have or where you are in a hierarchy position. You are a CEO, you are a manager, you are a general worker, you are in the bottom of the food chain. They'll respond to you differently. It's like I feel the same way in Chita Kona Dongdana. No, that because I'm back on the cool, put in a mama. It's the hierarchy thing, unfortunately. That one is there. If you add personality, it becomes worse. That just guys who are central note. This guy doesn't care. Yeah, but if the consultant or the boss says something, you're like, oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. The intern says the same thing. Why would you think that? Don't do that. Come on, man. Or if you tell the person you are an intern, you tell the senior, hey, listen, this is what I think. I shouldn't do that. The consultant comes in the morning or the afternoon, say the same thing. You're like, oh, okay, boss, oh, yeah. And they won't even recognize you. They won't say, actually, the intern didn't say this. I didn't agree with him. This is the reason. So you can just hear the reason behind it. Don't say nothing. Once the consultant says, okay, this is what I do, 1, 2, 3. He won't say, no, boss, why would you do that? But to you, you as an intern, you say, why do you think that? Why do you think like that when it's the hierarchy? So his responses basically is based on where you are in hierarchy. It's not about what you're saying. It's not about what you're saying at all. It's how they view themselves in comparison to you. So if they're intern, they speak in a certain manner with a consultant. They become more than that. You become a registered person. Now when you're a registered person, they respond differently to an intern. Now they see the intern as if like it's a student. Now they see the boss, the CEO, the consultant, the business people with the respect. So even the questions they ask the consultant are not the same questions they ask you, or the way they respond to you. Yeah, but sometimes you say something, they don't consider it. You bypass them, you say to the boss, the boss says the same thing, he fully agrees, like a motherfucker. Yes, I agree. But the motherfucker, I said the same thing yesterday. I said the same thing yesterday about that window. And I should close that window opening there. You say, we shouldn't open it there because the sun will come directly to us, for example. Now you tell the consultant that, say, boss, I think we should close the window and open the window there because it's more ventilation, etc. Yeah, but instead of COVID. It's crazy. The consultant says, Now he said, oh yeah, I see what you're saying, but see what you're saying. So it's hierarchy, it's not a decision. Yeah, but number two, same thing. What happens is when you say these things, now when you're in a meeting, it's most of the times it's people you never agree with before, right? In this case, political parties, say it's DA, EFF, ANC, etc. Yeah, but so now, even though DA says something that I agree with, right? Or ANC, something because I'm EFF, we've got a mandate here, and our mandate, our unwritten rule, so to speak, is to disagree with EFF with the ANC, even if they say something right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, well, this is something right about nationalization of mine, or about absence of books in high school and primary school, or access of education, or funding higher education. DA says something that you agree with as a person, but you are in EFF. So your group or where you are, yeah, well, it might be even you can even say black people versus white people versus Indian versus colors, etc. Because you are in this, you are black. In this case, they say you are EFF. You can't agree with another group that's ANC or white people, but you agree with them personally. But because of where you are, your response must be a joint response, like it or not. Yeah, but that's what happens basically in most of these big decisions. Because I sometimes I hear GA, I'm like, fuck, that's a good point. This guy has got a point. But I'm like, shh, I can't say some EFF, god damn it. Yeah, well, so I must be against Ken Hazel. Ken Hazel said something very important and something that we can do as a strategy. Yeah, but now I can't agree with him because I'm EFF or I'm ANC. Yeah, but there are two reasons basically that hinder progress in most decisions. Yeah, but because a person is a different race or a different supporting political party or a different group or different area or different province or different nationality. So therefore I can't agree with them because my group will produce one answer or a combined decision or a combined response. So we can't say I agree with Lungeno, who's that white guy there, Lungeno. I agree with him. What he's saying is good, and we want to add on what he's saying. We had a similar idea, we just want to add. So therefore, in terms of since the books has been an issue, we must change the company, which is we agree with them. And then number two, we must change the company, change the transportation company as well. So the company that makes the books and the one that transports them. Yeah, but people don't say that. They will come in. No. I don't think we change any company. Just people must be held responsible. But you agree with that guy. The solution is there. But because of the political mess of the association of where I am, now I have to disagree. Those are my two responses, basically, what you were saying. Why is it most people, when they respond, they don't actually discuss, maybe have a critical thinking? It's number one is hierarchy. If you're answering as an individual, hierarchy is the problem. People don't respect people without money. People don't respect people who are position. People don't respect people who have to work. People don't respect people who are below them in terms of financial status or kind of occupation. That's number one. If you're talking with white people to do that as a group, let's say females versus males, or elderly versus young ones, or black versus white, or political party based or provincial based, is because unfortunately when we produce this decision, this is the norm for us, or this is what we produce as a group. People unfortunately do like that. I've seen it. There are people who are actually, I see them that they agree with someone, but the problem is the person is on the opposition party. I hate the word opposition party. Like it's the worst word ever, because it actually means that we're gonna fight until the end. Yeah, but opposite. Imagine, like we don't say political parties. Like in America, they've got political parties, right? In here, we've got opposition party. But even when they ask questions, like in saying those rules, they'll ask you which is the biggest opposition party to ANC, to EFF, to IFP, to UTM. Yeah, but exactly. And you're like, what the heck? It's like you are in trouble. You are opposition. You are fighting each other. But you want the same thing. What's best for the people that voted for us? But you're saying opposition. We're not saying political party. We're saying opposition party. That's the problem. So therefore, the answer we're going to respond to, or the response we're going to give, are going to be as a group, unfortunately. Yeah, well, which hinders progress like a lot. Yeah, well, it is a progress a lot. And people, that's the thing is people who don't have this understanding. Basically, when for example, let me give you an example. Now in World War III, right, World War II, after World War II, people who died were less than those who died after the pandemic. So the World War killed less people compared to the pandemic, and you ask yourself why? Like guns are not supposed to kill more people than they were. No, it's simple and straight. People didn't want to make a joint decision that this thing is airborne or this thing is infectious in terms of charge or in close proximity. So let's not go out until we actually hinder the pandemic. Yeah, well, same thing it came when ANC, when we got those 3 people who came in from overseas in 2020 March the 3rd, right? March the 2nd and the 3rd. The solution came in those from EFF to ANC because ANC is a political party that's leading. Those came with a simple thing. Let's take these 3 people who are actually infected. We close the airport border, right? After that, these people will sit until they are asymptomatic or they've gotten the virus in their body. That was the solution, simple solution. Then people came in with rights. Now we can't restrict them from moving. And then time there's no mask, so we only see from overseas. So it seems like a far-fetched thing. Yeah, but no, we can't do that. Human rights, what? We can't restrict them. That what about their families? They've been seeing their families for 5, 6 months, etc., 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 etc. In comparison to the whole country, that's more than 50 million of people in it. Those 3 people, what happened? They traveled in public transport. They went to shops. They went to Mark and B. They went to ShopRite, etc. The virus within a month had more than 20 people within a month. Yeah, but the solution came from EFF to ANC. Good solution. I wanted it. But now, as an ANC member, like, we can't take orders from Mdlozzi. Who is he? We are the superior group here. And it's called the opposition part. So you must oppose it. Yeah, but the idea itself tells you have to oppose this decision. You must come with something different or something better. But sometimes there isn't something better. This is the best solution we have with what we have. Yeah, but the best solution, remember, is not based on the best mind. It's based on what you have. This is the best decision I've made given the equipment I have. This is the best decision. In the future, this one might not even be the top 3 because we have more knowledge, more resources, more heads on the matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest problem is this whole it's a benefit and the worst thing as well. Like it's a positive and a negative. But not you. It's fine. You want to belong in a group because it gives you a certain level of belonging and what do you call this? Identity. But at the same time, then as soon as you belong to that, that means that you don't belong to another. Yeah, and in that sense, that belonging to this group and then another group does something completely different, you are then inclined to then decline that because it's not the group that you identify with, regardless of whether you then think of it as being right or wrong. Yeah, so you then close yourself off to that. So the more you then identify yourself and find yourself, the more you then have to then say, well, I'm not those things and I'm not that and I'm not this and I'm not that. But then it doesn't mean that all those things outside don't actually make a point or have a truth. Yeah, and the problem with conversations and things like this is exactly that, is that people identify with a lot of things and then they close. And then once they're closed, you can never get them out. You can never get them to listen to the things that they aren't. Yeah, and then that's where the conflict comes in, is that then as soon as you go, but no, you know what? I think that if you don't wear a skirt, for example, you don't go and you walk in that street because it's dangerous, you are most likely not going to be killed or raped. And as soon as you say that, then the other group says, oh, yeah, you can't do that. And then it becomes a whole tussle. And it's like, so, man, I understand that you're in this group, but I'm not making a decision based on this group. I'm making a collective decision based on everything. Yeah, but now because you belong in this group, you need to think that, no, the thing is that what we're saying is we're allowed to wear whatever we want and walk down the street whenever we want, and then killers are not supposed to be killers. Then it's like, okay, good luck. Yeah. And then because you don't address that, you end up then actually doing more harm than good. Because then you basically tell people, oh no, it's fine, go do it. They're supposed to be like this. And then the more they go and do it, the more they don't actually take care of their own, what do you call it, their own health. They don't take care of that, and then they rely on a certain man somewhere or a certain person somewhere to take care of themselves. Then they don't get taken care of. Yeah, it's then as well about this whole the contradiction that there is with this whole feminist movement as well. Is that it's like we want to be independent because we can do everything that the other people can do, but we want them to protect us. It's like what?
Exactly. Double standards or triple standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me give you another one that's very controversial in terms of this Ukraine versus Russia thing. If we were to say, let's make it fair, World War I was fought by males. World War II was fought by males. This World War, we need females in the force. What are you gonna say? Human beings.
That's what I was saying, Mana. That's what I was saying, Mana. There is no feminist around now. Feminism doesn't exist. As soon as Putin said, we're going to go to Ukraine, then all of a sudden everyone said, okay, you know what? I really need to go and clean this place, and I need to go and pick up the kids, and I need to go. And then what happened to the movements? Like I haven't heard about it. No one in the world now all of a sudden.
God.
Yeah, and it reminds me of. It reminds me of what the Porter was said the other time about the fact that we are able to say things like this and have feminism and have all these inequality things and radical this because we live in actually a privileged society. The whole society is privileged because there's no fighting. Everyone is living, waking up, you eat, you go to bed. Wake up, you go and you pee, you eat, you go to bed, you take a shit. Everything is fine. Yeah, well, so now it's about, okay, I want to take a bit more than I can chew. Let me go to the males and say, hey, you protect us, give me money. And then the males go to the females and say, hey, you protect us and give us money and you give us kids and we want this and that. Until something like this happens where Putin said, etc. I need 30,000 soldiers to be on the border and we're going to kill people. Then all of a sudden people go, you know what, actually, roles are fine. I'm cool with staying at home. I'm cool with just, not going to work and having to deal with
I've asked almost all the ladies I know who are feminists. They'll tell me, I'm not doing that. But now, where's the point of people talking about? Where's the boldness you were presenting for the past 5 years, 6 years of feminism? Now it's totally gone. Gone. It's the worst thing ever.
It's the same with the racial stuff. It's the same with all the combat, the things that we fight against. It's the same thing. All the racial stuff. All of a sudden, where is this racial talk or this racial inequality? If you want to make racial stuff equal, cool. Then let's draft all the races into the military, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, go stand there.
Equal. Males.
Yeah. So go stand there. Yeah.
The war. You will see. You will see.
So when it's nice, we can have emotional conversations, and we can not look at the logic, and we can not look at the facts, and we can say, look, we need to protect females, and we need to do this, and the females say, okay, well, you guys need to give us money, and I'm independent, I can go and work for myself. Like, okay, cool. Why don't you go and work in the army? How about that?
Basically, when they said, because the Russians, what they did is they said now all these trans women are gonna go to the war. Now it was a half of. How could he say that? But how? You want to be a male, most from a female. So therefore, go to the war. Go and fight. You're a male now. You regard yourself as a male, right? So go and males are going to fight. Go and fight. Now they are sending the females. I was born female. What?
Yeah.
But you're a male.
What happened to toxic masculinity? Haven't heard that word in a long time. No more toxic masculinity. Every masculinity now is absolutely perfect. Because males are amazing and they will fight for you and they're the greatest species in the world until the war ends. And then they're going to say, no, man.
It's like this thing, man, of homosexuals and stuff. So why do they actually fall in under this thing of the war as well?
because you categorize them. If you actually, the war is actually in the blink of extinction. Yeah, well, sorry, the country is the blink of extinction. So you must categorize everyone. Everyone must take a part. So therefore, if let's say they will say, instead of saying males and females, everybody who dates women must go to the war. Would that be fair? Because you're dating the women that males are dating. So therefore, you're in the same category as males. That's how you categorize yourself. So therefore, go and fight. No, but I'm a female. But you know, we are saying everybody who dates females must go to the war. Or everyone who regards themselves as a male. Or who want to genderless. All those genderless people.
Yes.
Go to fight.
Yeah.
But when you are neutral, so you be neutral in the war as well. So you can take both males and females. So therefore, good for you. We need people like that on the war. The rifle is the same. We've all got 10 fingers. We all can shoot, right? Simple and straight. There's nothing about gender. You don't need to run. You can just shoot. The only need to do is to shoot.
Yeah.
If it was a war of talking, you'll be there. If you say, no, we don't talk to each other, we debate, all of the females will be there. All these females will be there. Now it's about new stuff. The things that they want us to do, but they don't want us to say we'll do. The things that they say they can do, but they don't want to do. Now it's split to tasks. This is a real task. People are moving back. This is a real task.
Ever since Putin said he's going to go to Ukraine, I've never heard the phrase strong and independent.
It doesn't exist. Where? They're in their houses. No inclusivity,
no toxic masculinity, no strong and independent, none of that. No, it's fine. We don't want to be included in anything. Nothing.
Exactly.
Leave us where we are. We're fine. Yes, but like no one ever fights to be, like no feminist fights to be the head of the.
Now. That's the thing I'm saying. Nobody wants to be the
we want to be there. Yeah, we want to be the best. Yeah, let's put all the females at the top of the food chain because they're females, and then we want them to be what do you call this? President of the country. It's like, okay, fine, fair enough. Well, how about then we put them there as well to become the general, be the first person to shoot a gun? Nah, we don't want that job. No,
exactly.
No, not that job. How about being a corporal? Go there and shoot a gun. That's a position of power. How about that? You got 10 troops. Go. Every single female will be head of those troops. How about that? Nah, it's cool.
I interview on Instagram. So this lady was saying, I think Peterson as well, but that there's this too many females underqualified or suppressed, all those things basically. That's suffering. And he came with a very clever way of responding. He says females actually more in power. But the problem is females don't want dirty jobs. You go to construction. I've never seen even one in my entire life. I'm 33 years old. I've never seen even one female saying, I want equality in construction business. We must work outside. We must go there and put face brick, etc. I want to dig holes, etc. None. Because that work requires strength. That work is dead and unglamorous. That work
even us. Even I don't want that. I don't want to go to construction. That's seen as a welfare. Do you think I want to go there and pick up bricks every single time and have oily, rough hands? Have you seen those guys? Like they will just shake their hands and fire will come out. Why would I want to do that?
Exactly.
Like I don't even want that guy. And you will hear people say guys are gonna. We want females in those positions. And guys don't want those jobs. There's a small percentage of guys that really enjoy that. I don't want to do that. I want to sit at home.
That's not less than 10%.
I want to pedicure. I want to play FIFA.
The trend is like they want to take what guys want and what guys have.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So
that's the big problem.
Lots of guys in construction are, if they like the how can I say, the ground workers, so to say.
Yeah.
Those are mostly guys who are just trying to put bread on the table. And females don't want that because it's not, there's no status to it. There's no competition.
Thank
So
you.
they're going to go into engineering, into medicine, into law, because there's a status about it. It's a guy's
It's
world. The guys are in
glamorous.
charge, and I can show you that I can take over.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but until you get to the top, right? You take over, you get to the top, and then you realize, man, actually, this job is fucking difficult. And
Yeah.
that is why all of the other people don't want it, guys included. So if I knew that it was going to be this terrible, even though it's glamorous, I wouldn't do it. And then you
Yeah.
bail out.
Let me give you,
Yeah,
let me
what's
give you
up?
examples, Makuyi, basically, of where you see the country was created basically to fit women in the past. So basically, you know, the old age, right? The current age, retirement age is 60 years of age. You know, before 2010, it was males age of 65, females age of 60. But we are both humans. But males were expected to retire later, even though they've got harder jobs. And the females expected to retire at 60. But they are both twins. They were twins. It's not that they actually
Yeah.
changed things. It was twins. Male and female grew up
Yeah.
together, worked in a similar environment. They're both chaps doing the same thing for the entire 40 years. But the female retired at 60. The male is expected still to work until 65. Why? Because the male, so basically, you're punished for being born a male. Basically, legally, you are punished legally. That's number one. Number two, if you look at this glamorous jobs, etc., most females, basically, most females, once they, I wanna do a job that's good for me, that will excel you. You wanna do a job what I'm good as a male. I wanna be committed as, like, they put up as their standards. Like, maybe a male saying, I wanna do this job as good as a female. What? We are not about the standards. We just do one thing. We actually don't know what they do on their own, but they care so much about what we do. They was going to tell you, I need to recognize me as a male. What?
That's never made sense to me, the retirement age, because I feel that women age over a longer time than men.
Thank you.
So I also feel, so men tend to get weaker quicker in the old age than females. How many females have you heard of who outlive their husbands or their spouses in their old age? There's so many. And so the retirement age, I honestly feel, should be swapped, because women at 60 still look flippin' good to continue working. And stronger.
But that's also the issue, right? That's also the issue with these things. It's also the issue with these things is that whatever you're fighting for, you only fight where you think that you are done wrong. But when you are doing wrong, you just say, no, it's fine. So then it's like, what equality are you fighting? Because if you owe someone something, right, and you have someone else that owes you something, you need to address both of that to create something that's close to equal. You don't just say, that person owes me money, he must give it back. And then what about the person that you owe money? You're just going to leave it at that? Then you're not actually fighting for any equality. You're fighting for only the parts that you feel as though that you're done wrong for your benefit. And that's it. Yeah, and the problem is with that is that it's those people that watch you, that you owe, right? As soon as they watch you and they see the vigor and the determination that you go against someone that owes you, and you get what you need, they come at you with that much power as well. Yeah, so it's like now, it's like the feminists, like the radical feminists going on about years and years about how just trying to damage certain guys and trying to damage masculinity and trying to damage the patriarchy, all of that. And the guys have been watching that, watching, and then saying, okay, go for it. Until times like this where they say, okay, now it's our turn. And now the problem is that it's
not our turn. Let's just respond. You see, we're not even reacting because we've allowed you guys to say all these negative things about us on social media, etc. One guy says one thing. Let me respond. Yeah, they hate it when you respond. You're like, what? But you did something. What's that? If a guy does something to a female, right, and female response is regarded as normal. She was hurt. He made her angry. He did this to her. But when a female does it to a guy and a guy responds, toxic masculinity, guys are rude, etc. But what's going on here? Who are we actually supporting? Who actually, what are we actually trying to achieve? You get what I'm saying? Because there isn't anything. You know, this guy, he said at some point, if your father took something, stole something, right? Let's say we are here, black, Indian, or colored, etc. A white person stole something, who's the father? From a black person or from an Indian person, whatever. But when he passed away, he gave the output or the results or the asset that he took from a black person into the son. The son is in possession of stolen goods. You get what I'm saying? If there was segregation, they said, okay, Indians this side, Islamic this side, blacks this side, you guys will stay in this side basically where there's less crops, there's less cows and less sheep. White people will take the greener side, right? Which is the other side or the colored side or the Indian side. And then this happens for 40 years. That guy who did that passed away but gave those benefits to his son. Now we come in with the open mind. Like, no man, my grandfather used to stay there. That's my grandfather's land. I want it back. But now the owner is the son of the guy who did it. So now the son is saying, I didn't do anything wrong. No, we know we didn't do anything wrong. It's fine. We are beautiful. But we want the land back. We're not taking something that doesn't belong to us. We just want the land. My father also passed away, but that's his land. That's his name in 1951 or 1954. You see, my grandfather. Now you are here, your father passed away, understand? You nothing to do with it, but this is stolen goods. Same thing with, let me give you a simple example. Your father steals the car, and I steals the car and hides that car. But when your father passed away, or he doesn't pass away, he gives you the car, you drive the car. You didn't know the car was stolen. Even if you knew, you didn't do it yourself, but you are driving the car. Are the police not supposed to arrest you or take the car back? I mean, like, it's a stolen car. We don't know it's stolen, but you didn't do it. Your father, your big brother, your grandfather, someone else did it, and now he's giving you the car. He says, "My son, I robbed this car in Witbank, or I robbed this car in Gauteng in 10 years ago. I want you to have this car." You are driving this car, stolen car. This car, who was the owner, was shot. The car owner was abused, whatever, was taken with force. Yeah, but as a son, your father's giving you this car, you drive this car. Now the son of the guy who was shot was owner of this car. Comes back, say, no, this is my car. This is my father's car. So I want it. The police are actually obligated to take the car back to the owner or to the son.
And if you resist, they're obligated to take you back.
Exactly. Yeah, but if you look at the
No, you see, with that, it goes back to the first conversation. Those are people that are obligated because it's their job. You don't tell me that I need to go and
it's their task. The word task is their task. It's in the job description. Yeah?
Excuse. Wait, I'm gonna come back on. Just wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
end this one and start another one.
To actually do that, right? Because they're policemen. They should do that. But now when we say it's slightly like us talking here,